this dating app. It's a new app for me. I'm not even clear on how to use it because it's not like a normal, well, it's pretty much a normal app. The only difference is that the woman has to make the first initiative. Well, I didn't know that. So I didn't make any initiative and nobody contacted me, and I thought that was strange. So anyway, I then went and Googled and, or YouTube how does this app work, and found out that the woman has to make the initiative. So, okay, great. So I'm the woman. I'll make the initiative. So I do. I there's a guy that, interests me. He's a decent looking guy. He's a nice looking guy. His profile looks normal. He's retired. I don't know, although I don't know if he had that in there. But anyway, he's retired. So anyway, we start corresponding back and forth. And it's fine. Everything is going fine. Just fine. And then well, actually, we had 2 conversations. Because one thing about him that I liked, there were a couple things in his profile that I really liked. Number one, he wasn't into a whole lot of texting. He believed in having a conversation, if you're interested in someone. And I believe the exact same thing. So I was like, great, match, checkmate. That was one thing. What was the other thing? Excuse me. The other thing about him, I'm trying to think. Trying to remember. No, I can't remember. I'll think of it. But anyway, that was a big thing because so many guys that I'm corresponding with, they just want to text. Like I don't know if they just want to have a whole text relationship, or to me it's a pen pal. I'm not looking for a pen pal. I'm not. I'm looking for a long-term relationship that leads to marriage. End of story. And I don't mean long, like 10 years. I mean like a year. That's long-term to me. So, and he also said the same thing. He had that on his profile that he was, and when I spoke to him, that's what he was looking for. So anyway, we start talking on the phone. And the first conversation is weird. Or it's not weird, but it's just, yeah, it is weird. It is weird. I'm sorry. It's weird. He starts off right out the gate cracking jokes. And I mean, they weren't just mild jokes. They were like, ha, 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 ha. I mean, he's laughing like that. I'm just kind of like, I'm laughing because it would be really awkward if I didn't laugh, but it was a fake laugh. Because I'm trying to figure out is this guy super nervous? If he's super nervous, I totally understand, and I don't want him to feel awkward. So I laugh along just to kind of feel him out, to feel, is this his personality or what? So anyway, like I said, first conversation was kind of weird. All these jokes. And this guy he's 63. Okay? 63. So he's older than me, definitely, but I've dated a 63-year-old before. And I have a whole video about dating older men and just some of the, their traits and whatever. Yeah, so he's 63. He's retired, like been retired 2 years. Okay, that's the first time I've, encountered a guy that was completely retired. I mean, I had guys thinking about retiring. They were planning for retirement. They were, getting their paperwork together. Like seriously thinking about it. No, this guy is 2 years into retirement. So, okay, that's cool. I'm like, what do you do? My thing is, when you retire, like have some activities that you're doing to keep your mind going and keep your brain going. Like this guy seemed like he just slept in. He sleeps in and he just, because I asked him, like, what do you do? And he couldn't. What he said is whatever I want to. And that's cool. But you seem a little boring. Because you couldn't tell me anything that you do. Anyway, what else did he do? So he's retired fully, and I'm like, okay, cool. This is a first, but okay. So then, as our conversation goes on, again, these jokes are, and they're. He would joke about something that happened in the 70s. I was a kid in the 70s. I was a kid. I was born. I was here, but I was a kid in the 70s. I'm in my 50s. And what's going on in your life that you meet a person, or you're talking to a person for the first time on a Zoom, that you met on a website, and all you could think of talking about is something that happened in the 70s? No, man, you ain't got no conversation. You ain't got no conversation whatsoever. If you don't have something more recent that has happened that you want to, and like I said, he's making jokes. And okay, so let me give you an example of a joke. He would make a joke about, I don't know, he would ask me a question like, what kind of movies do you like, or what's the latest movie you've watched? And I'm like, I haven't really watched movies lately, except for, like I haven't gone to the movies. Like we had a whole conversation about going to the movies, and like I haven't gone to the movies since COVID. So I haven't really seen the latest movies. And, I thought maybe that would lead into you want to go to the movies conversation, but it didn't. It didn't. So, excuse me. Yeah. So, we're talking about what's my favorite movie, or what movie do I like. He starts talking about, I'm trying to think, did he bring up, he didn't bring up, okay. Somehow we get on, Blockbusters. When you would go to the place called Blockbusters and get your videotape, and take it home and watch it, like Blockbusters. We start talking about that, and at that point I'm like, I've checked out. I'm like, this dude ain't got nothing better to talk about. Then he does start talking about oh my god, this not cassette tapes, DVDs. He starts talking about having DVD player, but his conversation is weak. It's weak. I'm trying to follow his lead. I'm trying to, but it's weak. So then every now and then he starts in with these jokes about me. Now, meanwhile, this is my second conversation with this dude. How are you joking about me? You don't know me. Okay, so the second conversation we had, which was the last, he starts talking about my dating life in a joke. And he says something about, yeah, I see you got guys lined up like at the deli where you take a number. What? I asked him, I said, I don't get the joke. What? You know why I don't get the joke? Because you don't know me. You don't know me. How are you clowning on me and you don't even know me? You trying to be sarcastic saying I ain't got no dates lined up because that's why I'm on this dating site? Is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, dude, like, yo, what the heck? I see why you're single. I see why you're single. So that was a no for me. Then that same night, when we first met or when we first talked on the phone, I mentioned this in a couple of videos, I always use a Google Voice number. And I have no problem telling someone I'm using a Google Voice number. So if they, I don't tell them right off the bat, but if for some reason it comes up, I'll tell them. Like, I have no problem telling them. And they usually, the normal ones, they get it. They're like, hey, if my daughter were dating someone, I would want her to do the same. So they get it. And he was the same at first, or he was the same pretty much. He, the reason it came up is because on the dating site, I did my normal, hey, if you want to give me a call, feel free. Here's my number. And I gave him the wrong number. Okay, now it's coming back to me. That was the first joke. I gave him the wrong number because it's not my phone number. It's not my regular phone number. So I don't know this number off the top of my head like you would your normal number. So I gave him the wrong number. So he calls me the first time, or we chat on the app back and forth, and he's like, oh, I tried to call you, but the number was wrong. And so then I give him my real number. Not my real number. I give him the correct Google Voice number. And so when he calls me right off the bat, he's cracking jokes about the fact that I don't even know my own number. And, when I say he's cracking jokes, he's laughing like, ha, 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 like really, like this was hysterical for him. And again, I just kind of laughed along, just as, so it wouldn't be so awkward. But, like, dude, like, it could be a million reasons why I gave you the wrong phone number. First of all, again, it's not my real phone number, so I don't know it like that. But anyway, so yeah, he's just cracking up, and it's just weird. It's just so weird. So that was a couple of nights ago, the last time I talked to him. Yeah, so then he texted me later that night, and in his text, he said, are you still not going to give me your real number? And I texted him back, and I said, the verdict is still out. Or the verdict's not, no, I said the verdict's not in yet. But that was it. I haven't responded back yet, and I don't think I'm going to. Because just from what I got from him in those 2 little conversations, I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I'm just not interested. It was too much joking, and when you started, clowning me about stuff, I was like, nah, this ain't even feeling right. It's not feeling good. So anyway, there's another story about my whole dating life. Have a good one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.